going on there, YouTube? I was hoping to do some more work on my new rat rod build, but parts didn't show up, and I still haven't found an engine that'll do what I want it to do yet. So this video is not about the rat rod. It's just about installing a custom diff cover on your Yota 2 axle from RC4wd drive. So this will, all you crawler guys out there, this will, it's pretty simple work, but what I've got here is the Ballistic Fabs diff cover with the skull. It does come with some hardware, some scale hardware, and we'll talk about how to do that. Alright, so all you Jalon 2 guys with these Yota 2 axles, and if you've upgraded your trail finder with these are a much better axle than the Yota 1s. They look very similar, but they are a little bit more scale, and they do give you some upgrades over the Yota 1 axles. I did a video long ago comparing the two. Really the main difference is in the front axle, and the steering knuckles are tighter and everything just jives better up there. And they're just a little bit smaller diameter, and they look a little more scale. So first step to do is the Yota 2s don't have exposed bolts on the pumpkin cover, and that's what we're replacing, so you have to remove your input section. So it's just a bunch of little screws, pops right off, and now you have access in here. There are 4 screws holding the rear cover on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out real quick. Alright, so I took those out. The pumpkin cover fell right off. Tip it over here the other way so those 4 screws fall out. And now we have access to the rear, and we have all these exposed holes now we can bolt our new cover to. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the front cover back on before I lose any more of the screws that I've already lost. If you're like me, I'm just sitting there taking them off, and of course they go flying. I think one went under my workbench here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that back on right now just to get all those little screws out of the way. Alright, I've replaced the one missing screw I dropped. This is a good time while you've got all this taken apart. I know a lot of you hardcore crawler guys want to shim the gears, and what that means is your pinion here, your input shaft, it's got a little bit of play in it, and this one doesn't have that bad. It's not as bad as the Yota 1s, but you can throw spacers in there to help set the mesh between your what do you call that gear? Your input shaft gear and your main drive gear. I'm sorry, I don't remember all the names of the gears. Well, never really a gear guru, but I'm not going to mess with that on this, because this one probably won't be driven a whole lot. None of my rigs really ever are, but and 2, I don't have any spacers small enough to use to get that small of an amount of flex out of it. But I am going to, while I've got it apart, go ahead and throw in some better grease. I use this super white lithium grease. You can get this stuff at any auto parts store. I know a lot of guys that do more serious crawling will use that blue marine grease. Helps keep everything greased while underwater and things like that. Not so much a water crawler here, so I'm just going to give a good squirt in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and open up the new diff cover and look at what we got. Alright, so this is really nice, machined, very, very fine machining. It almost has a texture to it. Looks like it's 3D printed maybe, but it's metal. So very nice. And it comes with scale bolts. And it does not look like it comes with a tool to install the scale bolts, so keep that in mind. You have to have some tiny little wrenches. I'm going to dump these over here. I have a little space before they roll off the table. And of course you get your stickers. All their officially licensed stuff from RC4wd drive comes with stickers. I'm not going to set this up here yet. Okay, so we've got a scale drain plug, and it comes with a, let's see if I can even show you this tiny little stuff here. Tiny little set screw. I really can't show you. I'm going to go ahead and put that in first. Just another little scale detail. It's kind of nice. Well, that goes really far in there. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Let me find the right size. Hopefully I have one small enough here for this. Not that one. I bought a set of these Weha made in Germany scale nut drivers. They are really nice. I bought a bunch of stuff from Locked Up RC, and their bolt sets and everything come with nut driver adapters and things like that, but they kept breaking on me, so I went ahead and spent the extra money because Scale Hardware is just too cool. So fortunately I don't have one that fits that size, so I'm going to have to find my RC4wd adapters. And I'm talking about, you buy some Scale bead locks or something from RC4wd, it comes with these little adapters to fit on your standard nut driver, and that is still too big. Alright, well, I'm going to have to do some searching around. I don't know if I have any other sizes. This is going to be fun, because I really wanted to use the Scale Hardware since this rear end is going to be exposed on this truck. Let me look around. Alright guys, I found one. I got this from Locked Up RC. This is one of their premium, 2mm nut driver bits and their handle they sell. I picked that up on my second order from them, and that does fit this hardware luckily. So the way I do it, it's just like a real car. You start with one, there it is, at the top and one at the bottom, and get everything lined up before you tighten it down all the way, because with all these different holes around it, you don't want to tighten one up and then the rest of them be off and you'll never get them started, or you'll end up cross threading. It's best just to take your time. We'll snug the bottom one up, snug the top one up, and just like that, it almost cross threaded, or stripped out, I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because this is not entertaining video to watch my giant hand in front of a tiny little axle turning forever. So we'll get this wrapped up and we'll take a look at it. Alright guys, there it is. It's much more menacing looking. It takes the Toyota look away from the axle, help fit this build a lot better. Yeah, and it did come with an extra screw, which was nice. I put that in my little bin. It's always good to have extra hardware. Just like in the beginning I lost one of the screws for the front. I would like to change out the front bolts to the same to match these rear bolts. And I would recommend Loctiting all of this if you're a serious rock crawler guy. Any other optional diff covers for these axles, it's a good idea to throw a little bit of Loctite on there. Just the blue, don't go red. You might want to take it off again later. But yeah, it's a neat product. This was about 22 bucks shipped on eBay. I got it from like Liquid RC, one of the big vendors on eBay. And I thought that was a little high, but it did come with all the Scale hardware, so I'm not upset about it. It's going to fit this build pretty well. Only one thing left to do now. Anytime I get a new product, I got my Scale toolbox here, and I always put stickers every time I get a product. I'll throw a new sticker on the side. Throw their little skull logo. Now that toolbox, I've had some questions about that quite often. That is an actual snap-on coin bank. They're available on eBay. That one was a little less than 100 bucks. They're kind of pricey. Some of the drawers actually do open and stuff. Man, there goes my motor. Some of the drawers actually open up, and it's got some little tools and stuff in it. Little drawer with a crescent wrench and things like that. It's pretty neat. I've got mine added with some extra stuff, and like all my toolboxes in my garage here, I've got stickers for all the products I've used on it. And I've got some stickers made to match real stickers that I had or found online that I like. But anyway guys, yeah, I appreciate you watching this little short video, just something simple, something everybody can relate to. But we'll get back to building here pretty soon, just waiting on parts. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.